You know, most AI is kind of like a student that needs to see a million flashcards just to learn what a cat is. But what if it could learn like we do, with just a few examples? That's exactly what we're diving into today, a really powerful concept called few-shot learning.
All right, so to really get why this is such a big deal, we got to start with the problem it's trying to solve. And it's a huge one. I like to call it the data dilemma.
You hear it all the time, right? Data is the fuel that powers AI. But what happens when you're running on empty? What if that fuel is super hard or even crazy expensive to get your hands on? Well, that shortage is one of the biggest roadblocks holding AI back right now. And this really gets to the heart of it. Traditional AI, well, it learns through pure brute force. We're talking about needing to see thousands, sometimes millions, of examples just to learn one single concept. It's just incredibly data hungry, and that creates a massive problem. And this is exactly where the theory kind of hits a brick wall in the real world. I mean, just think about it for a sec. How many medical scans are there for a super rare disease? Not many, right? Or what about a brand new product that just hit the market? There's no historical data. For so many important situations, that mountain of data we keep talking about, well, it just isn't there.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem, this huge data dilemma. So, how do we fix it? Well, there's this really cool approach that flips the script, letting AI learn from just a tiny, tiny bit of information.
And this is it, the key idea, few-shot learning. It's a technique that lets an AI model pick up a brand new concept from a ridiculously small number of examples. We're talking like 1 to 10. It's all about turning that data-hungry beast into a really quick study. I love this little phrase from the source material. It just nails it. It's AI that can learn from seeing a little. So simple, right? Forget all the complicated jargon. At its heart, this is about making an AI that can learn from just a quick look, instead of needing to analyze, thousands and thousands of data points. But wait, how is this even possible? I mean, how can an AI learn from 10 examples when it used to need 10,000? The secret, it's not some crazy new algorithm. It's actually something you and I do every day. It learns from experience.
And that's the absolute key. A few-shot model isn't starting from scratch. No blank slate here. Instead, it's using this huge base of stuff it already knows to figure out something new. It's not learning from zero. It's all about connecting the dots.
This raccoon example makes it super clear. So picture an AI that's already an expert on cats and dogs. It's seen thousands of them. It gets concepts like fur, whiskers, paws, the whole deal. Now you show it just a couple pictures of a raccoon. It doesn't panic. It doesn't start over. It just taps into what it already knows and thinks, okay, this thing has fur and whiskers like a cat, but it's got this weird striped tail and that little mask on its face. See? It's that connection to prior knowledge that lets it learn so incredibly fast.
And look, this isn't just some cool idea on a whiteboard. It's already out there, in the real world, solving actual problems. So let's check out a few places where few-shot learning is already making a difference. This tech really shines in those exact situations where data's hard to come by. For instance, it's helping doctors spot rare diseases using just a handful of medical images. It can learn your unique, kind of messy handwriting from just a few words. It can even create a custom AI voice that sounds just like you from only a few seconds of you talking. Or, get this, it can help a robot in a factory quickly recognize and pick up a new part it's never ever seen before.
Okay, so to really get the whole picture, it helps to see where few-shot learning fits in with its cousins, It's part of a bigger family of learning techniques, and its closest relatives are something called zero-shot and one-shot learning.
This chart here lays it out perfectly. So, on one end of the spectrum, you've got zero-shot learning. This is wild. The AI can identify something it has never seen before, just based on a description. Like, if you tell it to look for a horse with black and white stripes, it can figure out that's a zebra, even if it's never seen a picture of one. Crazy, right? Then you've got one shot, which, you guessed it, learns from a single example. And right there in the middle, that's our hero today, few shot, learning from just a small handful. And honestly, this is often the sweet spot, the most practical one for a ton of real-world uses.
All right, let's start to bring this all together. What's the big takeaway here? Why does this whole shift in how AI learns matter so much?
If there's one thing you walk away with, it should be this: less data, more intelligence. It's about moving AI away from just brute force memorization and moving it towards a much smarter, more efficient way of learning. Something that's a whole lot closer to how we learn. And because it solves that data scarcity problem, few-shot learning is basically unlocking AI for all these new uses that were just impossible before. It makes AI more agile, more accessible, you don't have to be a tech giant to use it, and ultimately way more powerful because it can adapt to new stuff on the fly without needing a whole new mountain of data every single time.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just imagine, what kinds of problems could we solve if AI could learn from just a handful of examples? What if building a custom AI wasn't just for the big tech companies anymore? Think about the personal, the scientific, the creative challenges we could tackle if anyone could train an AI with just a few pictures or a few documents. That's the future that few-shot learning is helping to build. Thanks for tuning in.